Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Christy Don One, and I am back with another live stream. We're gonna be talking about, and I tried to do this video yesterday, and unfortunately, I ran into some technical difficulties. But before we begin, I got to let you guys know I have a new YouTube channel. It's a comedy channel called Missy Media U. Subscribe and enjoy. You will not be disappointed. I'm gonna have videos uploaded on that channel. Uh, I'm gonna try to upload maybe once or twice a week. To add some more content there. But there's plenty of content if you're not familiar with this channel, subscribe to it. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's get into this recent article. I picked it up on BleacherReport.com. Chris Bosh is saying that the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to win this year's NBA championship. Okay. He likes what he sees on the court. The recent additions that the Cleveland Cavaliers have did with that roster. They changed the roster. It's not an ISO playing type of roster. Even though Isaiah Thomas, the trade that involved Isaiah Thomas and Kyrie Irving, as well as Jay Crowder and a number 10 pick, that really benefited the Cleveland Cavaliers for now and also for the future, as well as the recent signings they did. Jarrett Green, as well as Dwyane Wade. They signed him to a one-year contract a couple of days ago, and that's LeBron James' running mate, as well as the other core talent pieces that they have. And with their new strategy of putting Kevin Love at the center position, I think that's going to be very useful and beneficial for the Cleveland Cavaliers. That way they can put more scoring type of players on the court, okay? So you're going to see in the beginning stages of the Cleveland Cavaliers, you're going to see Kevin Love at the center. You're going to see Jay Crowder at the power forward. LeBron James, obviously small forward. Dwyane Wade and Derrick Rose, until Isaiah Thomas is coming back into the fold after the All-Star break. And then you may see different types of scenarios and different types of combinations where you can either have Isaiah Thomas play the one, have Derrick Rose play the two, and you also got J.R. Smith. So between Dwyane Wade and J.R. Smith, they're going to be subbing times at the two spot. And when you look at the roster itself, it's not as deep as the Golden State Warriors, but they're with this new roster, they're very competitive with the Golden State Warriors. So if they meet up with the Golden State Warriors again, I think this is going to go into a 7-game series because the Cleveland Cavaliers are deep enough to make adjustments, okay? And Christian Thompson seems like he loves his role as coming off the bench. He's a sixth man. Now, with Kevin Love, as far as defensive-wise, I think Kevin Love is going to, as long as Kevin Love stays in front of the center on the opposite team or the power forward on the opposite team, the opposing team, if he just stays in front of them and play basic defense, that would be very beneficial for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're going to miss out on starting Christian Thompson because Christian Thompson is a block shot artist. He's pretty decent as block shot, great at rebound, and just his defensive presence alone makes the opposing teams rethink about trying to slash down low when Christian Thompson is there. Okay, so you're gonna miss that portion as far as defensive wise, but what you're adding is another another player that can score. Okay, which Christian Thompson is not the best scorer on the face of the earth. And it seems like he loves his role as a sixth man. That means that they're not going to ask too much from Christian Thompson. All right. And, they're not going to, get Christian Thompson to, be a different player. And with Kevin Love at the center position, this is beneficial for him. And now when they match up with the Golden State Warriors, now they have perimeter players that can defend Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and even Draymond Green. Okay, you're going to always have a perimeter player in the face of those guys that I have mentioned. Okay, so LeBron James can go one-on-one against Kevin Durant, and I think Dwyane Wade, as long as he stay in front of Klay Thompson is more of a spot-up shooter. He's not a real slasher, but he's very athletic to where he could slash, but his primary focus is, shooting the ball, shooting jumpers. So this is beneficial for Dwyane Wade. He's a lot older. He can't keep up with Klay Thompson running all around the court looking for Klay Thompson, but he can stay in front of Klay Thompson, okay? Draymond Green and Jay Crowder, that's a plus, okay? That's a push, excuse me. Those two guys, even though they can score points, they're on their primary teams, they don't really heavily use them in offensive sets and offensive plays, okay? So, if you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers roster, it's a it's a better roster than last year, and if they compete with the Golden State Warriors this year for the NBA Finals, I think it will go as far as 7 games. Okay, but ultimately that will be very beneficial for the Cleveland Cavaliers because taking it to a 7-game. Who knows? It's basically a coin flip on who's going to win the NBA Finals. Okay, so Chris Bosh believes that the Cleveland Cavaliers can win an NBA chip this year. Okay, now me personally, like I said earlier in the video, I think with this roster that they have right now, they can compete with the Golden State Warriors. However, I don't want to go on the limb of saying that the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to dethrone the Golden State Warriors. Okay, we still do not know what Swaggy P is going to be for the Golden State Warriors, as well as they're 10 deep, and AI as well as Livingston, they can start on other squads, okay? So let's not sleep on those brothers, all right? So we really don't know what the future holds on as far. I think it's a stretch. I think we're in preseason, so we don't know. We don't have enough. We don't have enough evidence at our disposal to say yes, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to win the NBA championship. I think they're going to be the beast of the East. I think they have a roster that can contend with the Golden State Warriors, but I'm not going to go on the ledge of saying that what Chris Bosh said was, clearly the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to dethrone the Golden State Warriors. Now, Chris Bosh is an analyst for TNT, and he was a running mate for Dwyane Wade and LeBron James. So there's a little bias there, all right? He's not going to bet against his friends, and he's looking at it from a perspective of a friend, and a fan of these guys, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. However, I just don't. There's nothing there what they did in the preseason that will indicate to you that clearly they're going to dethrone the Golden State Warriors. The season is a long season. You don't know what more pieces the Golden State Warriors are going to probably add to that roster. Probably none, okay? Probably none. And they've been together a lot longer than this crop of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that's where the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to struggle. They really haven't played with one another. All right, they may played in summer leagues, they may played in the Olympics, but as far as playing competitive basketball on an NBA level, they haven't. It's going to take time for those players to gel. All right, let's just face facts and face reality. That's what's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers. But that's pretty much all I got that's pretty much all I got on these guys, on this story. I think Chris Bosh, he's coming from he's coming from as a friend of these guys, Dwyane Wade, LeBron James. He speaks very highly of these guys. He thinks these guys can still do it on a consistent level, even though they're a lot older than their time in Miami. There was in their prime in Miami. I understand where Chris Bosh is coming from, but however, you have to give the nod to the Golden State Warriors because that team, the core team, has been together a lot longer than the core unit of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, for the past 3 years, they've been adding pieces and letting go of pieces. There's really not an actual real core there that's been together for a long time. Okay. And I think the first 20 to 25 games, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to try to figure this thing out on the court. Okay, how all of this is going to transpire when it comes to wins and losses. And I think when they figure it out, they're gonna have to figure it out again when Isaiah Thomas comes back in the All-Star break, come back from All-Star break. So now you're going to implement him into your system. So now you have to figure it out again. It's just a lot of stuff the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to have to figure out among themselves. Not to mention, they still playing basketball. They still have to win a lot. They still have to win these games. They still have to go out there and do that, and also figuring each other out. And I don't think it's going to take as long as when LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh went to Miami. But however, I think it's going to take a little bit longer, and it's going to affect them in their record trying to figure things out because these players that they're adding, they're like different. They come from different types of programs, different types of systems. And Tyronn Lue he's got a tall tale in front of him, man. He's got a tall task in front of him. On how he's going to incorporate all this together. He's ultimately going to have to gel this, and LeBron James is going to have a lot of patience with this, and this is their swan song, sort of say. So this roster is not going to be around for the next couple of years. All right, so it is what it is. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Please hit that notification bell, that notification bar, so it'll let you know when my next video or live stream is going down. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Down One, and I am Yosh.